Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, look here, man. Sometimes we under attack because of who we are. You know, sometimes the enemy is after us because of the work that we might do to save others, to save ourselves. We're gonna be an inspiration to others. I could think back to like when I was a kid and I would start, let's just say, getting close to God, doing spiritual type stuff, trying to do good deeds, trying to go on the right path. It seemed like everything, even as a child, there would be a lot of things in my life that would start happening that was unexplainable. Or I start getting into certain trouble with certain friends. Or this guy might come around and I start hanging with him and stuff start happening on that end. Or things in my household would start breaking down. Or it would just seem like, you know, the relationship with my mom might deteriorate at the time, or I would start getting bullied, or I would be a part of, and then I would have to start acting out because I got bullied, or I would start getting bullied, and then I would have to do something extreme to get the bullier off of me. It a lot of stuff would start happening. I noticed that with certain family members that I felt like was gonna do good or could really talk to people, or really could change people, but then drug use started attacking them even more. They never could just get themselves out of that funk because they know when you're gonna be an inspiration to people. They know when you're gonna start doing something great for people. They know when you're gonna be an influencer on maybe having a bunch of kids follow you and going this way, or having a bunch of adults follow you and going that way in a good direction. And then so the spirit try to bring you back into the bad direction. The spirit tries to make you go the opposite way, go down the wrong path, get you with a crowd of people that's doing the wrong thing, and then you start doing the wrong thing. You understand what I'm saying? And then you start influencing them to do the wrong thing. Now I seen you. It could be in the music. Sometimes, I remember one time my uncle told me, I had an older uncle. He didn't even listen to hip hop, but I was at the time, I was a kid. He was way older than me, about 50 years older than me, my great uncle. And he started listening to some music I was listening to at the time. And he loved this particular song. I don't want to put the song out there. He loved this particular song. Every time I would see him, he would roll up and playing this song. And then one day, I said, "Where your song at?" He said, I threw the tape out the window. Why you do that? He said, "Man, I was listening to that. Everything in my life, bad started happening. All kind of attacks was on him." He said, "Man, I stopped at the stoplight and threw the tape out the window as much as I love that song." And I understand that because them the type of things that start happening to me. That's why sometimes people be trying to sabotage you. The enemy will put a spirit of depression on you. The enemy will put a spirit of, "Oh, I can't do this." Fear, the fear spirit. Because they know that you gonna be used. You're a vessel for goodness. You're a vessel for change. You're a vessel for positivity. And that spirit, they gotta get you, man. It's good and bad everywhere, man. It's positive and negatives in the atmosphere, or whatever, the newtons, the negative signs, whatever they are. I ain't no scientist. But them spirits, they be on you. And sometimes we be under attack for who we are. Cause we gonna be used to change things. That's why, it is what it is, man. That's why certain people, they start getting mad. They start like in the fast, people get killed. Some great leaders and stuff, they get killed because the bad wants the bad and the good wants the good. And they always been at odds. And it's been before we even got here, probably before humanity on Earth. If there's, that's a whole nother subject, but probably before humanity on Earth, the good is after the good has its agenda and the bad has its agenda. So What I'm saying is, if you feeling that negative energy or you feeling that evil, that demon after you, don't allow it. Keep doing what you're doing. Cause don't start saying, well, I'm being attacked. Maybe I should stop. Or why is everything bad happening in my life right now? Or why am I going through this? We going through this because something is trying to stop you. Some forces. Because it wants you to go back to whatever you was doing that wasn't positive, that wasn't great, that wasn't motivational. It wants you to go back to those forces. It wants you to go back. Those forces want you back. They want you to move. They want you to de-escalate in that matter. They want you to de-escalate in that matter. They don't want you to escalate. They don't want you to get with the good forces. They don't want you to get with the spirituality of God. They don't want you to get with the angels and stuff that's gonna surround you and y'all gonna do positive things. They don't want your spirituality to show. They gotta get you out the way. They gotta get you back to your old agenda, your old purposes, your old habits. They got to get you back to smoking the weed. They got to get you back to smoking the cigarettes. They got to get you back to doing the drugs and the pills and being a whoremonger or whatever you out here doing. They got to get you back in that realm because they don't want you in this good uplifting realm where you going to do. Because if you change 5 people and they start doing things, good things because of your acts, because you leading them down into a better path, or because you being a leader and they see you doing something positive and they can look at you and say, oh, I want to follow that guy, or I want to be just like him because I see him doing a good thing. They don't want you doing that. They want you to de-escalate back down to them pits, to the lower life, to the lower self, to the lower energy. They don't want you up here. They don't want you up there. So you got to do what you got. You got to stay your course. You got to keep driving in your truth, driving in your higher self, driving it. You got to keep letting your higher power talk to you and move you and break the chains of that slave mentality that they got. They break that handcuff. You got to get rid of that handcuff. You got to let that enemy go. Because they want you back there. They want you back there with them. So they after you. It's all around us. They fight you. It's a warfare going on around us. And sometimes, and not just sometimes, all the time, they use people to get to you. Sometimes the people don't even know what they're doing. But they attacking you. They being used to get on top of you and push you and de-escalate you down, back to that other mode. And we ain't going in that mode today. So if you feel something that's pushing you in the right direction, if you feel a spirit that's coming upon you to do the right thing, to change people, stick with it. Because I know for a fact it's going to be some stuff around you that's just going to be unexplainable. You might have just stopped smoking weed yesterday. You might have just stopped smoking weed a month ago and you happy you got 30 days. And you'll get out your car and it'll be a bag of marijuana on the ground. And you'll be like, why is this here? Mm-hmm. Yup. You know it. You be like, I ain't cheating on my wife no more. I ain't never doing that again. And that girl, you decide you ain't gonna hit that lick no more. And that lick, a perfect lick is calling you. Somebody call you with the perfect lick and you know, I know this gonna go through. That's an easy one. Don't do it. Follow your mind. Your heart is changing. Your mind is changing. Don't do it. Be a leader, not a follower. Follow your higher power. It's calling you to do the right thing. Hey man, look here, I done talked enough, man. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed day.